Welcome back to Abit Academy, and if you are new, a very warm welcome to you. This channel is where you will find learning technical and IT skills is made fun and easy. In this video, we will be creating tables. Let's not delay any further. Just hit those like and subscribe buttons to help me out and we'll get started. Hey guys, let's dive right in today and chat about how to structure your writing in Word by putting it into rows and columns. You may be thinking, sounds like Excel, and you're absolutely right. But sometimes you don't need all the functions of Excel, you just need the structure, and Word has got you covered with its table feature. So what is a table in Word? Imagine it as a grid of boxes. These are what we call cells, similar to what you see in Excel. This is perfect for organizing your content into neat columns and rows. You can adjust the number of cells, their height and width. A bonus, tables can even do some calculations. But we'll talk about that in a later video. Creating a table is a cinch. Start by navigating to the Insert tab. It's one of the options along the top of your Word screen. Once you've clicked on Insert, look for the button labeled Table. Click on it and a drop-down menu will appear labeled Insert Table. You're then greeted with a grid on the drop-down menu. This grid is how you set the number of rows and columns for your table. Here's how you do it. Move the mouse across the grid. As you move across the grid, the squares will be highlighted, indicating the potential size of the table. It's like painting the cells you want to include in your table. For example, if you move your mouse to cover 4 columns and 3 rows and then click, that's exactly what your table is going to look like. Once you've selected your desired number of rows and columns, click the left button of your mouse and voila. Your table appears in your Word document, ready for you to start filling in your data or text. If you prefer another way to create your table, we've got you covered. You can use the Insert Table option in the drop-down menu. This gives you 2 boxes where you can adjust the number of columns and rows. See those arrows on the right of each field? You can click on them to change the numbers or just type the desired number into the box. Not happy with the default column width? No worries. You can choose a different column width or even adapt the width to fit the page. All you need to do is select the corresponding options. You can adjust these later as well, so don't worry if you're not sure what to select at this point. Now, if you've made a table and changed your mind about it, deleting it is just as easy as creating it. Hover your mouse cursor over the top left of the table until a cross appears, then click on it. You'll see your table get highlighted, which means it's selected. All you have to do now is press the backspace key and your table is history. Now you can organize your writing into neat rows and columns, giving your document a cleaner, more professional look. All right, you've created a table in Word. Fantastic. Now you might be wondering, how do I add data or text into this table? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore next. Adding data or modifying data in a table is as simple as clicking inside the cell with your mouse. Imagine each cell as its own mini text box. You can do everything you usually do with regular text. Writing, check, deleting, check, formatting. You bet. So let's add some text. Click inside a cell and just start typing. It's that simple. If you want to erase something, just click and drag to highlight the text and press the delete key. No biggie. Now let's say you want to play around with the format. We can do that too. Let's say you want to bold your text. Just highlight it and press Ctrl and B, or select bold from the font section of the Home tab. You can use all your other favorite formatting shortcuts too, like italics or underline. Now that you've got some content in a cell, you're going to need to know how to move around your table. You have a couple of options here. First, you can use your mouse. Just click on the cell you want to go to. Easy, right? But if you're a keyboard shortcut fan, don't worry. We've got you covered. You can use your arrow keys to navigate your way around. Want to move to the cell to the right? Press the right arrow key to the left arrow key, and the same goes for moving up and down. Another keyboard shortcut, the tab key. Pressing the tab key will take you to the cell directly to the right. If you're in the last cell of the last row, pressing tab will create a new row for you and take you to the first cell of that new row. And what if you've tabbed your way too far and need to go back a cell? Just hold down the Shift key and press tab. This will take you back to the previous cell. Lastly, let's chat about what happens when you press the Enter key in a cell. You might be thinking it'll move you to the next cell, right? Well, not in word tables. Pressing Enter within a cell makes the text wrap to the next line within the same cell, just like if you were in a regular text box. So now you know how to insert tables and input data into them in Word. But what if you want to format your table, maybe add some color, change the text style, or move some cells around? That's exactly what we're going to tackle now, so let's get cracking. First off, just like formatting text outside of tables, you need to select what you want to format. You can select cells, rows, columns, or even the entire table. To select a cell or a group of cells, it's pretty straightforward. Simply click and hold the left mouse button and drag your mouse cursor over the cells you want to select, then release the mouse button. Imagine you're painting the cells you want to change. Want to select an entire column? Just move your cursor to the top of the column until your cursor turns into a downward-facing black arrow, then click. Boom. The entire column is selected. What about selecting an entire row? It's just as easy. Move your cursor to the left of the row, then click. And just like that, you've selected the whole row. And if you want to select the entire table, you'll need to find the small square located at the upper left corner of the table. Slowly move your mouse over the table. And when you see the square in the top right of the table, click it and you'll have the whole table highlighted. Now, when you've clicked inside a table, you'll notice two new tabs appearing at the top of your Word screen under the group called Table Tools. One is labeled Design and the other is Layout. The Design tab is your creative playground. This is where you can choose different table styles, play with colors, and really make your table pop. We'll cover more on this in a later video. The Layout tab is like your table control center. Here, you can select rows, columns, cells, or the entire table by clicking on the Select button and then choosing an option from the drop-down menu. You can also insert or delete rows and columns, among other things. This is where you can manage the structural aspects of your table. Let's face it, we all have those oops, I need one more row, or I don't need that column moments when working with tables in Word. And guess what? It's completely fine because Word's got your back. Today we're going to learn how to add and delete rows and columns in your tables. So let's dive in. Even though it's best to figure out the number of rows and columns you need before creating a table, we know that's not always possible. Maybe you're brainstorming and just figuring things out as you go, or perhaps you've received new data that needs to be included. No worries, because adding extra rows or columns is as easy as pie. Remember that Layout tab in the Table Tools we mentioned previously? That's where you're going to find all the options you need. Under the group labeled Rows and Columns, you'll find 4 buttons that will let you insert a new row above or below your current position, or a new column to the left or right. So whether you're expanding your table horizontally or vertically, these buttons have you covered. But what if I added a row or column by mistake, you might ask, or maybe you just don't need a certain row or column anymore. In that case, you're going to want to use the delete button. Just like the insert options, you're going to find the delete button under the Layout tab. Once you click on it, a drop-down menu will appear. From here, you can choose whether to delete cells, delete columns, delete rows, or even delete the entire table if you want to start over from scratch. But wait, there's more. You can also use your trusty mouse for these actions. To do this, just select a row or a column, right-click, and a pop-up menu will appear. From here, you can choose between the insert or delete commands. It's like a secret menu for your table. So remember, tables in Word are super flexible. You can add or remove rows and columns whenever you need to, using either the Layout tab or your right-click menu. With these skills, you're well on your way to becoming a Word table wizard. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you found it helpful. Don't forget, we've got plenty more videos to come covering all aspects of ICDL plus word processing. From basic formatting to advanced techniques, we'll make sure you master the program like a pro. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.